Now, we've got the sun and the moon. Totally opposite energies. Happiness, regret, sadness. So on this return, or on this victorious kind of status that you've had in the past, that you've held, there have been moments of glory, moments of happiness, but moments of regret and sadness as well. I think for whatever Leo I'm talking about, you've had a very interesting life. A lot of highs, but just as many lows. Your past is showing that. Beautiful days, hopeful outlook, with a great deal of pride in accomplishment. And then there's this kind of lingering black cloud. I'm going to say the moon feels to me more like it's the darkness, the sad part of life. The part of life where things don't always look so promising. Things don't always look so good if you're looking at it from the perspective of the moon. Some things feel far away and foreign, unusual, and strange. But I almost feel that there's this desire. Now we can talk about with the moon. We can also talk about maternal energy. And so for some of you, there may have been a separation from your maternal figure. Maybe during a time of great victory and glory. There feels like a separation from a maternal type of figure for some of you. It can also just talk about a need for protection and nurturing. Now, here we are. Here's the returning soldier. You see this joker here? He's got quite a variety of accomplishments. The Nine of Wands. He's seen a lot of things that you could consider battle worthy. He's put up a lot of fight in his life for one thing or another. And the Two of Cups. And for some of you, this is a very emotionally, it's tied to a very emotional relationship. Again, it could be a nurturing spouse or the need to receive nurturing from a maternal energy. But it feels like there's been a struggle around that. And maybe you've been the one controlling that struggle, that battle. It feels very much like, Leo, if you've had a struggle with a mother, a sister, a spouse, where it feels like it's an everyday battle. It feels like the up and down. That's what this is. It feels like a cycle that's had great ups and tremendous lows during its lifetime. This is the past. Let's see what the present looks like. Or, you know what? First, let me do this. A feeling of loss. There's been some loss and regret here. There's also a sense that life goes on. You can still have joy in your life, even though there's been an ending here. And then we have this ego. Now, for some of you, this separation was due to someone's overwhelming ego, somebody's words, somebody's extreme view of the situation stepped in, and what was created from this, I don't know, it could have been some miscommunication. Whatever it is, someone's ego stepped in and got the most of them. This is the past. So we're dealing with some resistance because of ego. Maybe narcissism was at play here. Someone maybe only concerned about themselves. Now, let's move into the present. Page of Pentacles. A lot of it was because of money in the situation. And money right now seems to be at play again. And then we have the Hermit. Someone who's been on a soul journey. Possibly it's you. It's at the middle. It's at the heart of this situation, this light and dark, this relationship. I think this is about a relationship. Even a career path, definitely. With this guy here saying, I've had successes and I've had losses. Okay? And I've also had regrets because of the things that have passed before me with the situation. Maybe you let your ego get out of hand because I know you Leos, you've got that kind of big, bold view of yourself, and that's okay. But when it gets out of control, you can step in it, you can get yourselves into a great big heap of darkness. It can plunge you into a place of darkness. So, maybe someone let go of you because of an overwhelming ego. And maybe it was their ego. Could very well be. It can go either way. Now, the Hermit is the guy, he searches the truth, but he lives under a bridge and he spends a hell of a lot of time alone too. And maybe it's been a long time passing since there's been contact with this person. You may have kept isolated from them, or maybe they kept themselves isolated from you. A mothering energy that may have kept herself isolated, and I almost feel that there is a sense of being okay with it. Being okay with it. Someone has a feeling of loss here, but somebody here is really kind of okay with it. The Seven of Swords. Interesting. So the Seven of Swords. In some ways, it can talk about profit. It can talk about gain. It can talk about getting away with murder. It can talk about a lot of things. The Seven of Swords is the guy who gathers up what he has left of a situation and gets out. Gets out of it before he gets hurt, before he gets trampled by competition, whatever his reasons are for packing it in and moving along here. It feels like someone left because of an unknown situation. Maybe it was hidden anger that was revealed. The moon for me is carrying a little bit of ugliness with it. Because we have this person here who kind of regrets their overwhelming sense of narcissism, or maybe someone just pure and simple left a narcissist behind, packed up whatever they had left of the situation and moved along. Maybe it was a situation that just was not going to work out. I think there are, in some ways, a feeling that of mistreatment in the situation, of even being misguided in one way or another, maybe being promised one thing and then receiving in another way when they actually reach their destination in whatever the journey is, whether it's this ups and downs with your career, or it's ups and downs with a family member, a motherly energy. Look, there's this feeling that there was some break in the situation, mostly because of money, and maybe the immature status of the money. Maybe that's the low period you're receiving now, or it could have been the situation from the past. One that was promised to be happy and even eventful and enjoyable. And it turned into a very dark, awkward situation with a lot of regret. For someone, I don't think everyone here has regret. I think someone has moved along just fine. The Three of Swords, but somebody hasn't. And the Three of Pentacles, trying to associate with maybe this energy again. Maybe it is a work situation where there was the disappointment, where maybe someone took a promotion from you, took a job from underneath you. And maybe you have just been disciplined and steady and thoughtful on this career, and someone has been undermining you on the job. The King of Swords. He's the boss man. He's the authority figure, usually. Maybe you feel you were betrayed by an authority figure at work. And maybe you're deciding at this time that it's maybe about that time to move on, to move away from a situation where I think you probably devoted a lot of yourself to. Maybe you kept to your own, just stayed focused on your work, and it feels like in that situation somebody has been trying to either undermine your authority, undermine your progress, your projects. But it feels like, even on a personal level, it almost feels like the same kind of energy if you were dealing with a member of your family. Could be an aging member of the family. All right, let me see what I've got here. The child. The reunion. Good Lord. And the despair. Someone is in a bad way. They may be looking to you for help. Or is it possible that that is what broke the situation up to begin with? I almost feel like since the child, and it can represent an actual child figure, whether you're 60 or 6 months, we're all somebody's child. You may be looking to reunite with a mother figure, a father figure, someone who was nurturing to you in the past, or maybe they turned to you at one time for help, for nurturing in a time of despair. And maybe that's where all of this went wrong. That situation might be coming up again for someone, where this childhood connection, or even an actual child, may be having financial issues, and that situation may be coming back around again. Maybe that situation is coming back but reversed. The first situation broke up the mother-child, or the nurturing energy, and this childlike energy. It was the wedge that came, look at this, it was the wedge that came between you before. The situation may be arising again for some of you shortly. Whether or not you let this energy back in is purely up to you. But now that you're aware that someone who maybe you've had a wedged relationship with in the past, maybe looking for a brand new start, a brand new beginning, after a kind of an upsetting ending. But like I said, one of these people is damaged and one of them is really all right. The action here is, what do we do about it if we want to reunite the situation? I'm taking them from the top. This is the future. The Five of Cups. Someone remains in their silence, in their hurt, in their place of being okay with this. I really feel like maybe this is not the right time to be reaching out for someone, especially if you're reaching out for money. I don't think that's going to work out well for whoever this is. If someone's reaching out to you for money, I think I see a very easy no coming along. If you're reaching out to someone, I can also see that I see the same reply If you're reaching out to a family member who has departed your life for a period of time, I think the answer is still going to be no. And I think you're going to remain in a struggle. I think you'll handle that fiery energy that you possess. You feel like you're getting along. You're going to handle things all right, even though the rejection and the disappointment might be there. And the Eight of Cups. This is the card that says keep working. If you're unemployed, I think there's a job for you with your name all over it. But I don't think reaching out to a departed family member, especially if they're aging, I don't think this is probably a good time to reach out to them for money. I'm almost getting a message that this aging parent might be in a worse situation financially than you are. So if all you're going to that person for is money, you better keep walking, because I don't think they have it. That's the message that's coming through for me. And if they do have it, I don't think they're going to give it to you. The Jack of Spades. This is sort of that urgent energy that says, well, I have to do it now. I have to do it now. I need an answer now. And needing an answer now is really going to lead to a disappointing conclusion. The Ten of Cups, the family connection, and the Eight of Cups. You know what I want to say here, Leo? The family connection, I kind of want to lay this out, this last throw with the tarot, because I really want a visual on this right now. Okay, so here's our Knight of Swords. And, okay, come on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this as quickly as I can. That's the visual I wanted. The walking away, the turning away. Even though somebody makes an offer look really appealing here, there's still a turning away only because they know. They know of the disappointment or the hurt that will come. Because I think there is also a knowing that there's someone here who's very much only interested in acquiring the financial perspective that they're looking for. And I think they paint a very pretty picture of a reunion. But my guess is, if I'm reading this correctly,